All right, let's dive right in. There's this invisible force, a hidden architecture that holds up our entire digital world. It's the operating system you probably don't have on your desktop, but it's pretty much guaranteed to be powering the phone in your pocket and the servers that are sending you this content right now. We're talking about Linux. And today, we're going to peel back the curtain and see how it basically runs the world.
So, let me start with a quick riddle. What is the one thing that connects the world's fastest supercomputers, the Android phone you're maybe even watching this on, and the huge invisible cloud that powers the internet? You'd think they're totally different worlds, right? But nope. They all share one big secret.
And that secret? It's Linux. Yep, all of them run on it. And the reason why is this killer combination of traits. It's incredibly fast, it's famously secure, and it's rock-solid stable. But the real magic trick, the thing that changes the entire game, is that last point. It's open source. And that's not just a technical feature, it's a whole philosophy. It means the code is out there for anyone to see, to improve, and to build upon. It's like having a global team of geniuses working on it 24/7.
Okay, so to really get Linux, to understand what makes it tick, we've got to look under the hood. And there are two main parts we absolutely need to know about: the kernel and the shell. The easiest way to picture it? Think of a car. You've got the engine doing all the heavy lifting, and you've got the dashboard that lets you control it.
Or hey, here's another analogy, and this one's my favorite. Just imagine Linux is a busy restaurant. In the back, you've got the kitchen. That's the kernel, doing all the complex, hard work. Then, out front, you've got the waiter. That's the shell. That's who you talk to. If you can just remember this one simple idea, the kitchen and the waiter, you're going to understand everything else we talk about.
So first up, let's talk about that kitchen. This is the Linux kernel. It is the absolute heart of the whole operation. As a user, you never interact with it directly. I mean, you don't just wander into a restaurant's kitchen and start cooking your own food, right? Same idea. The kernel's back there, silently managing everything. The computer's processor, its memory, your keyboard, all the hardware. It's the powerful hidden engine making it all go.
So if the kernel is the busy kitchen, then the shell, well, that's your friendly waiter. The shell is that command line interface, that blinking cursor you see. It's the part you actually talk to. When you type in a command, you're not just typing text, you're placing an order. And it's the shell's job to take that order, turn around, and tell the kitchen, the kernel, what needs to happen.
Let's just break that down, side by side. On one hand, you have the shell, your waiter. It's the user interface, and its job is to interpret your commands. On the other hand, you have the kernel, the kitchen. It's the core of the OS, and it's the part that actually executes those commands by managing the hardware. But here's where it gets really cool. Just like a restaurant can have different waiters, you can actually change your shell. You might use bash, which is super common, or maybe ZSH. But the kernel? That's the one kitchen. It's the constant, always powering the whole operation from behind the scenes.
All right, so we know who does the work. That's the kernel. And we know how we place our orders. That's through the shell. The next logical question is, where is everything? How is it all organized? And that brings us to the Linux file system. Think of it as the blueprint for the entire building.
Now this might look a little strange at first, but in the entire world of Linux, everything, and I mean everything, starts right here, with this single /. This is called the root directory. So if you're used to Windows with its C drives and D drives, just forget all that. In Linux, it's one big unified family tree of files. And every single thing, every file, every program, even your mouse, lives somewhere inside this single tree that starts at the root.
And from that one root, the system branches out into a bunch of standard folders. And each one has a very specific job. It's incredibly logical. For example, there's /home. That's where you live. It's your personal space with all your files. Then you've got /bin, which is like the system's toolbox. It holds all the essential commands. And then there's /etc, which is kind of like the master control room for the whole system. See, everything has its place.
Okay, so we know the layout of the building, we know who to talk to. It's time to actually speak some Linux. Let's learn a few super basic commands so you can give your first orders to the shell and start moving around this file system.
The very first command you absolutely have to know is ls. It's just short for list. When you type ls and hit enter, you're basically just asking the shell, hey, what's in this room? Or show me everything in the folder I'm standing in right now. It's your fundamental way of just looking around.
And boom, this is what you might get back. The shell takes your ls command, passes it to the kernel looks around and reports back what it found, and the shell displays the results for you. So here we can see we've got a few folders: desktop, documents, downloads, and music. It's that simple.
Okay, great. So we can see what's in the room. But where exactly are we in that giant file tree? To find out, you use the command pwd. That stands for Print Working Directory, and it does exactly what it says. It tells you where you are.
The shell will probably spit back something like this: /home/student. This is what we call an absolute path. It's your full address, starting from the very beginning, that root slash, then into the home folder, and then into a user folder called student. Think of pwd as your personal GPS, the "you are here" sticker on the map.
And finally, let's actually move around. For that, we use cd, which just means change directory. Since we saw that documents folder when we typed ls, we can just type cd documents to step right inside it. And that's pretty much it. With just those 3 commands, ls to look, pwd to find out where you are, and cd to move, you now have the basic toolkit to get around any Linux system on the planet.
So there you have it. You've just taken your very first, and honestly, your most important steps into the world of Linux. You now get the core architecture, you understand how the file system is laid out, and you know how to issue some basic commands. This right here, this is the foundation for everything else.
So let's just lock in the key takeaways. Number 1, Linux isn't just some niche OS. It's the powerful open source backbone of modern technology. Number 2, you've got that core mental model down now. The kernel is the engine, the shell is the interface, the kitchen and the waiter. And number 3, you understand its logic. Everything lives in one big, unified file system that starts at the root. If you remember those 3 things, you're golden.
Look, getting these concepts is really like learning a new alphabet. You can now start forming words with commands, and pretty soon you'll be writing sentences with scripts, and eventually building entire applications. You have the foundation. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?